You have a pretty good college, Tirupati garu.
Thank you very much. Wait for 2 minutes, sir. Our chief guest and guest of honor, they will join within a few seconds,
no
few minutes. Surendra Reddy sir, Sanjeev sir join kavali.
Tirupati garu already on line. Tirupati garu.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. Sir, hearty welcome, sir. Hearty welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir, Tirupati sir and speaker.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Principal sir.
Thanks, Sanjeev garu.
Sir,
I can
welcome,
see
sir.
I can see Dr. K. Kiranmai, I can see Padala Tirupati garu, and I can see few others, but I do not know. I mean, most of them may be students. I can see Nabila Raheen, Dr. Taraka Reddy, yeah, man, quite a lot. Yeah, Varsha, Dr. Varsha, Subhash Warpe, Giras, Dr. Akhilesh also I can see. I'm sorry, I'm not able to spell out the full name. I can only see half, partly. So kindly accept my apologies for not spelling out your entire names.
No problem.
I can see Dr. Chandra Kumar also. Chandra Kumar garu, namaskaram andi.
Namaskaram, sir. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you. Devudu daya, మీ ఆశీర్వాదం.
మీ ఆశీర్వాదం.
పెద్దవారు మీరు.
లేదు సార్, మీరే పెద్దవారు. Thank you so much. I'm very glad to see you.
It's been a long time, right? It's been sorry, Sanjeev garu, I am really probably interrupting. We have this association. We recently had monne maaku oka refresher course ayindi.
So, okay.
So ఆ రిఫ్రెషర్ కోర్స్ లో తిరుపతి గారు అండ్ చంద్ర గారితో పరిచయం ఏర్పడింది, and it was very fruitful and
very happy, very happy.
Most memorable days in Usmania University.
I mean, at least for me. Tirupati garu has been pushing me a lot actually. Chala push chesaru for this event.
He's very enthusiastic guy. He's very enthusiastic. Yeah.
I can. No, the problem was he was asking me few informal photos, and I haven't had any photos of mine for the past decade or so. So I was struggling to find out where can I find out the photos.
మీరు వస్తే స్టార్ట్ చేయండి.
Kiranmai garu, namaste andi. Varsha garu, namaste. Because I can see the doctor name, so I am trying to identify my colleagues here. And I can see Dr. Akhilesh also.
So very good morning, sir. This is Kiranmai sir from Jagityal, sir.
Yeah, I can see a peacock.
Yes, sir.
Tirupati garu, I would request you to please let me know, because I am new to these Zoom. What we have been doing is we have been using Google Meet and Google Suite accounts ani kottaga start
Okay, no problem, sir. We are here. We are always with you, sir. Okay. Good morning to all. Good morning to all. Warm welcoming you, sir. All the delegates of our Department of Biotechnology, Botany, Zoology and Life Sciences faculty of our entire nation, different states delegates, they are joined in our Zoom. We are wholeheartedly welcoming you, Government Degree College, Jagityal, Department of Botany and Department of Zoology, going to organize this national webinar. This is the 5th national webinar. And first of all, I would like to invite our today's webinar chairperson and principal of this college, Sri Mallaram Srinivas Reddy Garu. Sir, please welcome to the webinar session. And today's chief guest, Dr. Kadaru Surendra Reddy Garu, General Secretary, TGCG TDA, Telangana, Assistant Professor of Zoology, SRR Degree College, SRR Gout Arts and Science College, Karimnagar, and guest of honor, Sri Dr. Alwala Sanjeevaya Sir Garu, President, TGCGTA, Assistant Professor of Zoology. Please welcome, sir. And today's keynote speaker and eminent personality, Dr. Surya Prakash G. Ponnam Sir Garu. Please welcoming you. And also today's webinar co-conveners, Dr. K. Kiranmai Madam Garu, Dr. A. Jyoti Lakshmi Madam Garu, and entire faculty of our Women's Degree College, and wholeheartedly welcoming you, sir. Please, today's webinar, our principal and chairman of this webinar, please welcome you, sir. Please give a brief message about our webinar and college, and also today's introduce our today's chief guest and guest of honor, sir. Please welcome, sir. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Tirupati Garu. Very good morning to all of you.
Excuse me, please, all of you, mute yourself. Srinivas Reddy, sir, please unmute yourself. Principal, sir. Principal, sir.
Okay, welcome to all. Okay, Tirupati Garu, thank you. Thank you, Tirupati Garu. Welcome to all. At the outset, I would like to congratulate our Department of Botany and Zoology for conducting a national webinar on genome editing technologies, principles and applications. And my hearty welcome to our keynote person, Dr. Surya Prakash G. Ponnam Garu, Assistant Professor of Molecular Biology and Biotechnology, Tezpur, a Central University in Assam State. And my hearty welcome to guest of honor, Dr. K. Surendra Reddy Garu, Assistant Professor of Zoology and TGCGTA, Telangana State General Secretary, and our special guest, Dr. A. Sanjeevaya Garu, Assistant Professor of Zoology, TGCGTA, Telangana State President Garu, and all the delegates who are participating in this webinar. Thank you very much. Today's topic is genome editing technologies, principles and applications. Today, all of us know little thing about genome editing technology. So the major R&D research in worldwide, mostly in advanced countries, is happening in genome editing technology, because through genome editing, we can prevent the life-threatening diseases like cancer, like some more threatening diseases newly coming. So that's why the major R&D is going on this topic. So I will assure you, all the delegates, that you will get a good knowledge about genome editing technologies through our keynote person, Dr. Surya Prakash G. Ponnam Garu. And I wish you all the best. Thank you, Tirupati Garu. Over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. And I would like to invite today's chief guest, Dr. Kadaru Surendra Reddy Sir Garu, General Secretary, TGCGTA, Telangana. Please welcome, sir. Please unmute yourself, sir. Please. Welcome. Sir, audible, sir.
Audible. Oh, thank you, Padala Tirupati garu. Program నిర్వహిస్తున్నటువంటి వెబినార్ కమిటీ చైర్మన్ ఎన్ శ్రీనివాస్ రెడ్డి గారు, కన్వీనర్ పడాల తిరుపతి గారు, కో కన్వీనర్ డాక్టర్ ఏ జ్యోతిలక్ష్మి గారు అండ్ కె కిరణ్మయి గారు, అలాగే ఈరోజు కీనోట్ స్పీకర్ సూర్యప్రకాష్ గారు, వివిధ కళాశాలల నుంచి ప్రోగ్రాంలో పార్టిసిపేట్ అవుతున్నటువంటి అధ్యాపక మిత్రులు, విద్యార్థులు అందరికీ నా యొక్క నమస్కారాలు. చాలా మంచి ప్రోగ్రాం కండక్ట్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నారు. ముఖ్యంగా పడాల తిరుపతి గారిని నేను చాలా రోజులుగా గమనిస్తూ ఉన్నాను. ఎస్కేఎన్ఆర్ గవర్నమెంట్ డిగ్రీ కాలేజ్ తరఫున అనేకమైనటువంటి క్విజ్ ప్రోగ్రాంలు అలాగే వెబినార్లు చాలా చాలా మంచి సమర్థనీయంగా కండక్ట్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నారు. ఈ రోజు మీరు తీసుకున్నటువంటి ఒక టాపిక్ కూడా చాలా అడ్వాన్స్డ్ టాపిక్, చాలా మంచి టాపిక్. దీని మీద మంచి అవగాహన పిల్లలందరికీ అలాగే అధ్యాపక మిత్రులకు కూడా ఏర్పరిచే అటువంటి అవకాశం మరి సూర్యప్రకాష్ గారికి లభించడం, సూర్యప్రకాష్ గారు మనకి గెస్ట్ గా స్పీకర్ గా రావడం చాలా మంచి అందరికీ చాలా ప్రయోజనకరంగా ఉంటుందని నేను ఆశిస్తా ఉన్నాను. ముఖ్యంగా ఈ రోజులలో మరి ఈ కరోనా బారిన పడకుండా మన పిల్లలందరినీ కూడా ఈ కార్యక్రమాల్లో పాల్గొనేటువంటి వాళ్ళందరికీ కూడా మీరు తగినటువంటి సూచనలు కూడా కీనోట్ స్పీకర్ ద్వారా ఇప్పించాలని చెప్పేసి కోరుతా ఉన్నాను. మరి రోజు రోజుకి కరోనా బారిన పడేటువంటి వ్యక్తుల సంఖ్య కూడా పెరుగుతూ ఉంది. మరి భయపడాల్సిన అవసరం లేకపోయినా జాగ్రత్తగా ఉండాల్సినటువంటి అవసరం ఉంది. ఆ విషయాన్ని చెప్పేసి తెలియజేస్తా ఉన్నాను. మరి మా కళాశాలలో కూడా మా డిపార్ట్మెంట్ తరఫున ఒక ప్రోగ్రామ్ నడుస్తూ ఉంది పక్కనే. కాబట్టి నేను ఇంకా ఎక్కువ సమయం తీసుకోకుండా మీ అందరికీ కూడా ఈ కార్యక్రమాన్ని విజయవంతం కావాలని అందరికీ ఆల్ ది బెస్ట్ చెప్తూ నాకు ఈ అవకాశం ఇచ్చినటువంటి మీ అందరికీ కృతజ్ఞతలు తెలియజేస్తూ ముగిస్తాం.
Thank you, sir. Surendra Reddy, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Giving me a wonderful and valuable message regarding of this webinar. And we are wholeheartedly thankful to you, sir, because of this, given your valuable time for this webinar. And now I would like to invite our state president, TGCGTA, Dr. Alwala Sanjivaya sir garu. Please welcome. Please, sir. And over to you. Sanjivaya
Thank
sir.
you, sir. Thank you, Tirupati garu. And my hearty congratulations to Tirupati garu and principal and all the organizers of this webinar. And very good program you are organizing, sir. Tirupati garu, you have taken a lot of initiation for organizing this program and have also selected very good speaker for this program. And I appreciate your efforts for organizing this program, especially Tirupati garu and Principal Srinivas Reddy garu, Jyoti Lakshmi madam and Kiranmai madam and all the participants. Really very good program. Make use of this program, and I really appreciate and congratulate all of you for organizing such a wonderful program. And all the best, sir. Especially I appreciate for selecting this very eminent professor and Surya Prakash garu. I heard about this his name previously. And all the best, sir, Tirupati garu and your team principal, sir, for giving me this opportunity. And I thank you, all of you, for inviting me to this program. Thank you, sir. All the best for your program. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Sanjay sir, you are giving a valuable message regarding of this webinar, and also thankful to you, sir, because of the keynote speaker is very important for this webinar. This hot and very emerging topic, that is genome editing technologies, principles and applications. Our keynote speaker, Dr. Surya Prakash G. Ponnam sir, and we are wholeheartedly thankful to him, sir. Thank you, sir. And before going to start the session, I would like to give a brief activities regarding of botany and zoology department of department. Please unmute yourself, sir. Please unmute yourself. And regarding of our college and principal, along with faculty members of our college, they are mostly encouraging me towards the this pandemic situation. We are wholeheartedly thankful to entire my GDC women family members, Jagityal. With their cooperation and encouragement, we are conducted such a wonderful programs related to online quizzes and national webinars. Online quizzes, national webinars. So previously we are organized 4 national webinars, and this is the 5th national webinar, that is genome editing technologies, principles and applications. And we are conducted online quizzes 53. Entire GDCW family involved in this national quizzes. So this is the first national webinar we are conducted. The pandemic period 2019, COVID-19, May 27, we are conducted first online webinar, national webinar. In this webinar, more than 2,000 participants they are registered, and above 590, more than 600 they have joined and enlightened this national webinar. This is related to life skills, how to survive themselves from this pandemic situation. So this is very, very useful to the current topic. So that's why this is selected for life skills regarding of the COVID-19. Dr. Adhika Srinivas, psychologist, is enlightened on the topic May 17, 2020. And this is the second national webinar we are conducted on topic biotechnological applications for the conservation of biodiversity by eminent speakers of prestigious university, that is Kakatiya University, Dr. M. Sureka Madam Garu, Additional Controller, Kakatiya University, and Dr. M.D. Mustafa, Associate Professor and Board of Chair viewers of Department of Botany, Kakatiya University, and Dr. T. Christopher Rubin, sir, Assistant Professor, retired, and now sir has worked as a Dean, Faculty of Science, Chaitanya Deemed University, Biotechnology Department, and he is my supervisor, sir. And the third national webinar we are conducted on August 2nd, that is the topic is recent trends in plant sciences by eminent speakers related to Telangana University, Professor B. Vidyavartini Madam Garu, Professor Dean CDC, Nizamabad, Telangana University. Now, Madam has BOS Chairperson of Shatawahana University, Karimnagar, and Dr. Ahmad Abdul Alim Khan, sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Telangana University, Head Department of Botany, Telangana University. This is the third national webinar. And fourth national webinar we are conducted on March 8th, that is International Women's Day, regarding of the women empowerment. Dr. Lata Perka Madam Garu, Assistant Professor at Department of Botany, Giriraj College, Autonomous Nizamabad. Madam has enlightened the entire information related to regarding of the various programs related to women empowerment. And fourth, this is the 5th national webinar conducting today by the collaboration with the Zoology Department, Dr. A. Jyotilakshmi Madam Garu, co-convener, and Dr. K. Kiranmai Madam Garu, co-convener, Department of Zoology, Government Degree College for Women. And keynote speaker, Dr. Surya Prakash G. Ponnam Garu, Assistant Professor, Department of Molecular Biology and Biotechnology, Tejpur University, Napam, Suritapur, Assam, India. So this is about the programs related to webinars, and we are conducted more than 53 online quizzes. This is related to online quizzes: Independence Day and Army Day, Science Day, World Wetland Day, National Voters Day, National Youth Day, and World Wildlife Day, and National Indian Independence Day, and NSS Day, National Independence Day celebrations, and tissue culture and biotechnology related to plant sciences, coronavirus, and World Environmental Day, that is June 5th, and World Population Day, and the legendary Shivaji birthday, regarding our the birthday, on quiz on national level, quiz on Shivaji, and the salute him on birth anniversary of a hero was born with a dream of free India, that is Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, 23 March 23, we are conducted online quiz, and Girl Child Day, National Girl Child Day, Library Day, and Republic Day, Darwin's Day, and Farmers Day, Computer Science, quiz on Computer Science, Teachers Day, and the Telangana Telangana festival, that is Batukama Sambaralu. We are conducted online quiz. This quiz is suggested me by Manasa Madam Garu, Department of Chemistry, and World Ozone Day, and MK Gandhi and Lal Bahadur Shastri Jayanti, World AIDS Day, national level quiz on Children's Day, national level quiz on maths, Department of Maths, and basics for polymerase chain reaction, and this is also related to primary design test. This national level is related to World Disability Day, person with World Disability Day, and Mathematics Day, World Computer Literacy Day, and World Human Rights Day, World Food Day, World Health Day, World Forest Day, Water Day, Meteorological Day, Babu Jagjivanram Jayanti, related April 5th, recent online quiz, and Mahatma Jyotirao Phule and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Jayanti, just before April 14th. And this is a plant physiology quiz. This quiz has participated more than 2,500. The responses you are watching here, 2,510 participants, they are attempted this quiz, entire national level, plant physiology. And Earth Day, we will going to conduct on April 22nd. This is Earth Day, this is the quiz. This is the 53rd quiz of our college. So thank you very much for our principal sir, Mallaram Srinivas Reddy sir, and vice principal Dr. Masroor Sultana Madam Garu, IKSC coordinator Madam Garu, former IKSC coordinator Madam Garu, Dr. K. Kiranmai Madam Garu, now Kaur Madam Garu. And entire my GDC family, we are wholeheartedly thankful to you conduct this national webinars and also quizzes. It is a continuation process, this pandemic situation. We are utilizing this much of time and also enlightened the society regarding of this pandemic situation, and also awareness programs and social reformers life history. Also we are awareness program. We are conducted the type of programs. It is a continuation process. Our principal is continuously motivated us for conducting this type of quizzes, online webinars, and online certificate courses, and also online courses also. We are very wholeheartedly thankful to you, sir. Now I would like to invite Dr. K. Kiranmai Madam Garu. Please introduce our today's keynote speaker, Dr. Surya Prakash G. Ponnam. Please welcome madam.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Tirupati Sir Garu. It is an honor to me to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Surya Prakash G. Ponnam Garu. So here, sir is working as an assistant professor in Assam. Already we know about that. Sir has working in Tejpur University, that is a central university, Department of Microbiology, Biotechnology. So here it is a NAPAM. This central university, it is located in the northern eastern states of the Assam. So here, sir, just I want to put on some qualifications, sir. You are enlightened person, sir. It's a great honor to me. And just I want to present some points, sir, some qualifications, sir. But you're having the more qualifications, so I took more time, sir. Sir, I want to take just few minutes, sir. So, sir, qualifications worked as a Department of Biotechnology overseas, associate with the Professor Nutt, head of the research group. So it is a Department of Ophthalmology, Germany. He received a doctorate in human molecular genetics from LV Prasad Eye Institute, Hyderabad. He did his master's in the biochemistry from Hyderabad University, that is a central university, in the year of the 2004. He did his degree, that is a BSc in the genetics in the Nizam College, that is autonomous in the OU. So I could say one word, sir, you are the Telangana Mudubidda who represents in the Assam, and you also received so many awards. What could I say, sir? You are receiving so many awards. I want to present the few awards. That is one award, that is a DBT Overseas Associate for the year 2014 to 2015, sir. Then qualified the national level ICMR JRF was awarded in the year that is the 2004. Qualified CSIR SRF 2005 and the 2006 respectively. Awarded the best scientific poster titled The Molecular Genetic Analysis, that is a congenital hereditary cateterism, that is in the 2008 at the Indian Eye Research Group held at the Madurai, Tamil Nadu. And another award, that is the earlier Career Research Award by the Department of Science and Technology Award by the Government of India, that is the 2018 to 19. The three major projects are doing, one is already completed, and most of the research is entire his career. I could say that because of all of our students are also waiting to listen also, sir. So your projects already I communicate my students and all of my colleagues also. So many projects are there. So here one is almost completed. Almost all the projects are related to the ophthalmology. So one is the keratoconus, that is also completed, and another two are the pending. These are the major projects. So one is the in vitro studies to the investigate the approach of the editing the defective exons 3. So the human CGST6 genome associated with the macular carotid dystrophy through the CRISPR Cas9 technology. So here, almost present situation, everybody knows about the genome. I think so. So normal people also know about the genome. What is the genome? What is the DNA structure? So here, what the chosen topic is a very effective, sir. I could say the genome, which is useful to our students also, the structure, the editing the DNA structure, removing and the adding particular location in the genome structure. So I would say the one thing to all my students and my colleagues, you are the motivator to us, sir. So you could motivate our students also. You are the one, I could say the enlightened our institution, sir. Thank you very much to accepting, and thank you very much to Tirupati, sir. Over to Tirupati.
Okay, thank you very much, madam. Brief introduction. This is not a brief introduction. Sir has crossed so many milestones. So Sir is looking very nice and simple personality, but has an knowledge, ocean of knowledge. Sir is nothing but ocean of knowledge. We will going to learn from Sir. Please welcome, Sir. Can I share, Sir? Screen share.
Are you able to hear me, Tirupati Garu?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. So, can I speak now?
Please welcome, sir. Please start your session. But one more important notice: within 5 minutes, the session is going to end. Please, all of you, please reach and same link. Please click on the same link and join immediately, please.
Yeah. So I know. I mean, thanks for giving me 4 minutes of time at least to convey my thank you to all of you. I should and I apologize in advance if I have forgotten anybody by mistake. It was a very quick introduction. And firstly, I think this is Dr. Kiranmai Garu. This is the warmest ever welcome I have ever received from India and abroad. And I also thank Dr. Padala Tirupati Garu for such a warm introduction to me. I think this is the best welcome which anybody has given me over my lifetime till date. So before I formally thank in person, let me put this across that I am a very simple man and a humble man, and please treat me as your colleague. I mean, no big tags attached to me. And I don't know, usually I don't spell my middle name, but otherwise I am Surya Prakash God Ponnam. I am from the same Telangana where you all come from, or where your college is, present. I have had my schooling in Hyderabad, and then my intermediate in Andhra Pradesh Residential Junior College in a small college in Utnur in Adilabad district. And now I don't know which district it falls into. Well, secondly, and I did my bachelor's in genetics actually with my major in zoology, genetics and chemistry from Nizam College, and then master's in biochemistry from University of Hyderabad. and then subsequently PhD in LV Prasada Institute, and the degree was awarded by University of Hyderabad. And then I had an opportunity to work as a guest scientist in University Clinic for Gießen and Marburg in Germany. That was my brief introduction. Of course, Kiranmai Garu has very vividly told about me, but I thought let me myself also make clear, because before I actually move into it, I would like to thank Mr. M. Srinivas Reddy Garu, the principal and chairman of this college, I believe. Namaskaram Andi. And I would like to thank the chief guest, Dr. B. Balabhaskar Garu, who is an AGO CCE Hyderabad, and guest of honor also Dr. K. Surendra Reddy Garu. Yes.
Sir.
Yes, Tirupati Garu.
Small correction, sir. Now, today's chief guest, Dr. K. Surendra Reddy Sir Garu, and Dr. Aluvala Sanjivaya Garu. Dr. Aluvala Sanjivaya Garu. State President TGCGTA.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I correct my statement because I was looking at the flyer and I could see there is some kind of, I think probably a typo. But anyways, I would extend my namaskaram to Balabhaskar Garu, Dr. A. Sanjivaya Garu, and Dr. K. Surendra Reddy Garu. I hope if I have committed some mistake in spelling out your names, please pardon me. I have a very poor memory with respect to this, but I honestly tell you that this is my warm namaskar for all of you. And I am probably 3,000 kilometers away from you. And now this is all Corona time, so we are making good use of this kind of lectures. My whole idea when Dr. Mr. Tirupati Garu has asked me to share this knowledge, I said this will be a very good opportunity for me to interact with your students. And I really appreciate and thank Dr. Tirupati Garu's efforts in motivating me actually. Forget about you. He was pushing me a lot to get this thing done. And I think, with this, I would also like to thank all the conveners, co-conveners, academic staff, non-teaching staff, and all the other supporting staff who have probably made this webinar possible. So once again, all of you, and a namaskar to all of you. So I think I am out of my time. So yes, please kindly allow me to quit now. Yeah, yes. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Resign. Please, all of you.
Sorry if I have missed anybody in appreciating their efforts.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Please, all of you, please rejoin immediately, sir.
Tools of genome, molecular tools of genome editing. So the important tools of molecular genomic editing that we would be discussing today are meganucleases, zinc finger nucleases, TALENs, and CRISPR-Cas9 system, right? So we will discuss each and every molecular tool of genome editing. We would discuss what are the advantages and limitations of this tool, and then we would summarize also what are good and relative. We would compare them and find out which one is suited for what, right? So I think we'll move to the next slide now. So what are meganucleases? So meganucleases are found in many organisms, archaea or archaebacteria, bacteria, phages, fungi, yeast, algae, and some plants. Now meganucleases, the advantage is they can be expressed in different compartments of a cell, that is in the nucleus or in the mitochondria or in chloroplast. Now, several hundreds of these enzymes were identified. Now, these are the endodeoxyribonucleases characterized by large recognition sites. And because of their large recognition sites, they usually occur only once in a given genome. Now, they are most specific, naturally occurring restriction enzymes. Now, mainly represented by two enzyme families, collectively known as homing endonucleases, which are intron endonucleases and intine endonucleases. Next slide, please. Among the meganucleases, the LAG-LI-DADG, people call it LAGLI-DADAG, family of homing endonucleases that have become a valuable tool for the study of genomes and genome engineering. And the best characterized endonucleases which have been used across the globe include ICE1, ICRE1, IDMOL. So these are the three different enzymes, which endonucleases, which people use quite often when they are working with meganucleases. Now these three are usual, and these meganucleases are used to modify all types of genome, which include bacteria, plant, or animal. Now you will be interested to know that in 2012, research at Bayer's Crop Science used directed nuclease editor to incorporate a gene sequence into the DNA of a cotton plant, targeting precisely to a predominant site, predetermined site. Right? So next. So meganucleases have their own advantages and limitations. The first advantage is you can create homologous recombination, you can generate mutations, you can alter the reading frames, and this is the primary advantage. Now, besides that, they have low toxicity and they are naturally occurring and provide very safe method for site at a desired site cleavage. They could be used in combination with molecular editing tools. I mean, you can use meganucleases in combination with other other genome editing tools, so that it becomes very effective. Right? This is an advantage with the meganucleus. But however, there are certain issues. Firstly, the probability of finding meganuclease able to cut at a given genome at the desired location is very low, which means if you want to pinpointly do an excision or a repair at a particular part of the region, that point or that region of the chromosome may not have the restriction site which you are looking for. So which is the biggest challenge. Next, the construction of sequence specific enzymes for all possible sequences is extremely costly and time consuming. Now each genome engineering target therefore require an initial protein engineering stage for a custom meganuclease. Ante మీరు డిజైర్ కావాల్సి మీరు అనుకున్న దగ్గర ఒక డిఎన్ఏ బ్రేక్ మీరు తేవాలనుకుంటే మీరు దానికోసం ఒక సెపరేట్ గా ఒక మెగా న్యూక్లియేజ్ ని డిజైన్ చేసుకోవాల్సి వస్తుంది. ఇది చేసుకోవడం వల్ల మీకు అది చేయడం అనేది చాలా కష్టతరమైంది, దాంతో పాటు చాలా డబ్బులు కూడా దాంట్లో ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయి ఉంటాయి. ఇవన్నీ పక్కన పెడితే DNA methylation and chromatin structure affect the efficiency of meganuclease, which means if the target DNA that you are actually trying to break is already methylated, or if there is a change in the chromatin structure, you will have a problem with the meganuclease activity. Ante target DNA ganaka methylase అయిపోయి ఉండి లేదా దాంట్లో క్రోమాటిన్ స్ట్రక్చర్స్ లో ఏదన్నా తేడాలు గనక వచ్చుంటే మీ యొక్క మెగాన్యూక్లియేజ్ యొక్క పనితనము ఎఫిషియన్సీ తగ్గిపోయే అవకాశం ఉంది. ఇది నేను చెప్పాలనుకున్నది. సో బేసికలీ యూ హ్యావ్ లాట్ ఆఫ్ అడ్వాంటేజెస్, బట్ యూ ఆల్సో హ్యావ్ ఈక్వల్లీ ఇఫ్ నాట్ లాట్ probably a little less number of disadvantages also associated with meganucleases. So now we will move on to the next presentation or the next kind of genome editing tool, which are known as zinc finger nucleases. So what are zinc finger nucleases? They are otherwise in short called as ZFNs. ZFNs. Okay. Now these ZFNs were discovered first in Xenopus laevis. This African clawed frog antaru. ఆఫ్రికాలో క్లాడ్ ఫ్రాగ్ లోంచి ఈ జెనోపస్ లేవిస్ లోంచి ఇది మొదటిసారిగా ఐసోలేట్ చేయడం జరిగింది. సో ఎన్ ఇంజనీర్డ్ న్యూక్లియేస్ కన్సిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ 2 parts. ఒక క్లీవేజ్ పార్ట్ డొమైన్ ఉంటుంది, ఒక డిఎన్ఏ బైండింగ్ డొమైన్ ఉంటుంది. అంటే ZFN ముందెళ్ళి డిఎన్ఏని అతుక్కున్న తర్వాత అది క్లీవ్ చేయడం మొదలవుతుంది. సో అతుక్కోవడానికి డిఎన్ఏని అతుక్కోవడానికి ఒక డొమైన్ వాడితే క్లీవ్ చేయడానికి మరో డొమైన్ వాడాల్సి వస్తుంది. అదే ఈ ZFN, జింక్ ఫింగర్ న్యూక్లియేజ్ అంటారు. నౌ a zinc finger unit recognizes 3 base pairs of DNA. Next slide please. Yeah, I think my language is using is less understandable. Yeah, there is one individual who is saying that my language is not really comfortable for him, so I think I will stick to English then. So yeah, so what is ZFN? So ZFNs are zinc finger nucleases. So zinc finger nucleases are those nucleases which actually identify 3 nucleotides. You can see a cleavage domain and a binding domain. You can see a right ZFP and a left ZFP. So these binding domains and the cleaving domains bind together and break the DNA. Okay, so once this breaking is done, so ZFNs actually bring about a change. These 2 domains are necessary for bringing about the necessary changes. Next, please. Now, using ZFNs, you can do multiple things. You can do a targeted disruption. You could do a targeted deletion. You could do gene corrections, and you could also do targeted integrations. So which means all the tools, all the requirements of a typical genome editing that are required for a genome editing scientist are being filled up by ZFNs. However, ZFNs have their own advantages and disadvantages. Please let's go to next slide, please. Yeah, what are the advantages with ZFNs? Like meganucleases, they have high fidelity. High fidelity, they have high specific, or they have a very site specific insertion is very much possible using ZFNs. Point mutation can induce sequence changes in native genes. So you can induce point mutations also using ZFNs. Now, what are the limitations of ZFNs? It has been proven, it has not proven to be a straightforward to assemble ZFN domain to bind an extended stretch of nucleotide with high affinity. The target site selection is limited. Again, although it is high, it has got a higher fidelity, high site specificity, but the problem is that binding of this to an to the desired location, that means the exact location where you can actually target the ZFN is very limited. Right now, the target site selection is limited. That's what I had put in a short. Now remember, off-target cleavage could also lead to unintended mutations, which means although you may think that ZFNs are high fidelity and highly specific in their nature of genome editing, they have been proven to be also having off-target activity. What is off-target activity? On-target activity means it is acting at the point where it is desired. Off-target activity means the activity which is occurring at the non-desired part of the DNA. So this is off and on-target activity. Next slide, please. So now, after looking at the ZFNs, we will move into TALENs. So what are TALENs? TALENs are transcription activated like effector nucleases. Mind you, meganucleases are also nucleases. Restriction, they behave like restriction endonucleases. ZFN, zinc finger nucleases are also nucleases, whereas TALENs are also nucleases. So what are TALENs? TALENs are also restriction enzymes, but these can be engineered. You can modify a TALEN to do your specific job. They may be made by fusing a tail effector DNA binding domain to a DNA cleavage domain, that is a nuclease. Essentially, there is a DNA binding and there is a DNA cleavage domain. Now, these tail or TL effectors are protein produced by plant pathogen Xanthomonas via a type 2 secretion system. Now, TALENs can be engineered to build to bind to practically any desired DNA sequence, which means when compared to meganucleases, ZFNs, you can design TALENs such that their identification, their recognition sequence of your desired sequence is more. You can cut the DNA at specific locations. So this is more technically feasible as compared to the ease of editing a genome using TALENs is much beyond the meganucleases and ZFNs. Now, TALENs is a prominent tool currently in the field of genome editing. Next slide, please. Now you can see a DNA binding domain a FOC1, this thing, and you have a spacer, you have a target DNA, you have a region, and that is how it cuts. And you can see the diagram below shows a schematic diagram showing tail nucleases dimer bonding to the DNA. Okay, next slide, please. So after looking at these three, let us also look at looking at the two previous genome editing tools like meganucleases and ZFNs. Now let us look at TALENs, advantages and the limitations associated with TALENs. Like the ZFNs, even TALENs are high, they have high fidelity. They can also do site-specific insertions. They can also create point mutations, but the disadvantages are in situ applications of TALENs is currently limited by the lack of efficient delivery mechanism, which means you are designing a TALEN, but this TALEN has to go into the cell. So for a genome engineering scientist, if you want to put TALEN into a cell, that is inefficient. So TALEN gani, meganuclease gani, whatever other nucleases that you are thinking of, first that should be sent within the cell, then only then it does the job. So pushing the TALENs into the cell itself is a big challenge. Now the second is TALEN proteins can themselves be immunogenic in nature, which means you are introducing TALENs so that the TALEN does the genome engineering job. But if it is creating an immune response, so your body may produce a lot of immunogenicity and the entire TALENs may be treated as foreign proteins and then they may be cleaved off. So your actual objective of genome editing will not be possible. Now there is always uncertainty in the specificity of TALEN binding, meaning however specific you may think, TALENs also may bind to some non-specific areas. See, remember, whenever you are doing a genome editing, the primary objective of a genome editing scientist is to see that he should be able to correct the gene of interest or correct the site of DNA mutation or whatever. But if there is also a off-target activity where you are introducing non-desired mutations, then nobody will accept your genome engineering tool or technique, right? See, you are trying to repair a head and you are creating a problem in the legs. Nobody is accepting this kind of genome engineering tools, right? So most of these genome editing tools have issues of these kinds. Now, remember, TALEN is 200 times more expensive than the CRISPR. So CRISPR-Cas9 system, which is the current day of use of, which is the current system of, editing genome, or which people are using CRISPR-Cas9 system, it is one of the most advanced system. So I am trying to come back to CRISPR-Cas9 system now. And before I come to CRISPR-Cas9 system of genome editing, all these previously, described genome editing tools is what I wanted to tell you. So if I am allowed to reiterate, first was meganucleases, second was ZFNs or zinc finger nucleases, third were TALENs, and now we are coming to the most advanced method of CRISPR genome editing tool, that is a CRISPR-Cas9 system. Next, please. So yeah, well, TALENs have got multiple applications, like they have been used to efficiently modify plant genome. They have been used to develop tools for producing biofuels. They have been used to, engineer stable modified iPSC clones and create knock-ins and knockouts, right? Yeah, fidelity meaning is faithfulness. Yes, fidelity means faithfulness, Vishwas Garu. TALENs have also been utilized experimentally to correct genetic disorders like sickle cell anemia, xeroderma pigmentosa, and epidermolysis bullosa. So all these have been in testing trials, but people have actually not come into, they have not been commercially exploited till date, even TALENs. Let us now go to CRISPR-Cas9 system, which is the most advanced system. Tirupati Garu, can we log off and then log in again, because it's just 2 minutes? Hello?
Okay, after 2 minutes, we will rejoin, sir. After 2 minutes.
So can we continue with this system now?
Yeah. 3 minutes
Yeah.
is here.
Yeah. So what is CRISPR-Cas9 system? So CRISPR-Cas9 system is a prokaryotic defense mechanism that uses RNA-guided nucleases to kill a foreign genetic element. This technology comprises of two components, a short guide RNA and a nucleus. So this guide RNA is responsible for binding to the region of your interest, and Cas9 is responsible for cleavage. So Prati Degra, we are having two binding domains or two systems. One is binding, another is cleaving. So even in CRISPR-Cas9 system, we have got one guide RNA and one cleavage system, that is a Cas9 system. When both of them are together, only then you have the effective, the genome editing would actually happen. Now, the cRNA and the tRNA can be fused together to create a chimeric single guide RNA. Now, the specificity of Cas9 is determined by this SG guide RNA or single guide RNA, I would say. Now, the activated Cas9 endonuclease can specifically cleave the DNA sequence complementary to the cRNA if an additional 3 to 5 base pair long sequence is present at the 3' end of the target, which is called as a PAM sequence, which means there is a guide RNA, there is a Cas9. Now this guide RNA binds to the DNA of your target size, and then the Cas9 would come and chop off the DNA at that particular site or create a nick at that particular site. However, if there is a PAM sequence, it requires an additional 3 to 4 base pair PAM sequence. Let us go to the next slide. Now, these CRISPR or CRISPR. So if you want to look at this CRISPR system, so this CRISPR system actually is, see, it was, I guess there is some problem with internet.
Sir, you are audible, sir. You are visible and audible, clearly audible. No problem.
Yeah, I am getting disconnected. I don't know. Hello. Yes.
Yeah. You are audible, sir.
Yeah. So what are these CRISPR? What is CRISPR? See, these CRISPRs are actually nucleotide sequences. Now this CRISPR system, very little time. Tirupati Garu has made my speech very brief, but I wanted to thank him more than what he has introduced me. But he's a very dynamic man, I would say. One of the sweetest individual. I had an opportunity to interact with him while we were a part of our, some academic professional development program at Usmania University. Well, I am not handling the slides as of now. So I would request Dr. Tirupati Garu to actually take care of the slides. And if somebody asks me any questions, I think I'll be willing to take then and there itself. So let's not wait till the end of the day, so that you may actually miss out on what I have been teaching. So shall I go ahead, Tirupati Garu?
Yes, sir. Please proceed, sir.
Yeah. So I cannot change the slides. I think you would have to change the slides from now on, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, and I guess this video. Yeah, fine. So well, ladies and gentlemen, and students actually. So I will be intermittently using Hindi or Telugu phrases also, so that it becomes more effective for the students, because I presume there are a good number of students in this meeting. With your permission, Mr. Tirupati Garu.
Yes, sir. Right? Please you proceed.
Yeah, and at any point in time, if you feel that my English is little fast, or if I am going too much, then you are free to interrupt me and tell me what is the problem, right? If it.
Sir, please unmute yourself, sir. Sir, please unmute yourself.
Yeah. So I wish to tell that if at all I am fast, or if at all by any means my English is beyond comprehensible level, then please feel free to stop me and ask me for a clarification, so that I will try to explain it in a better way. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, please. So with this basic, I think the pleasantries. So let us get back to the topic that I wanted to share with you. So this is more an educative lecture or a seminar presentation rather than a research presentation. So most of the information that you will and this presentation is trying to be like a more of an informative kind of presentation rather than a research oriented presentation. Okay, so I would request Dr. Tirupati to be online so that I can see that the presentation is going on well. Otherwise, if you switch off your camera, then I may have a little issue in understanding, right?
Okay, sir. I'm
So
ready,
please
sir.
bear with me and please
Sure.
put on your
Sure.
camera.
Sure,
Yeah.
sir. Sure.
Well, so the topic of today's presentation is genome editing technologies, the principles and applications. So why we decided on this topic was simple. I think you must be knowing that we have gone through different phases of eras of improving the healthcare system using molecular biological techniques. And if you encompass all of them, I think, and if you have an overview, or if you succinctly say, the current day genomic tech or genomic editing tools have played a huge role, right, in developing the in making the life of a individual more healthy, or whatever you call it. Can I go to the next slide, please? Yeah, so here we will be discussing about the principles and the applications of the genomic editing tools. So before we actually move into genome editing tools and their applications, first let us understand the basic concepts of genome editing. What is genome editing? Anybody would ask me, what is genome editing? So genome editing is a form of highly precise genetic engineering which produces alterations to an organism's genome as small as a single base pair with no identical or auxiliary modifications. So for the benefit of students, I would like to say genome editing ante మనిషిలో ఉన్న ఆర్ ఒక జంతువులో కానీ ఒక ప్లాంట్ లో కానీ దానిలో ఉన్న దాని కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ని మనం మారుస్తున్నాం అన్నట్టు. అయితే జీనోమ్ ఎడిటింగ్ లో ఒక సింగిల్ న్యూక్లియోటైడ్ ని కూడా మనం మార్చొచ్చు. So what we try to do in genome editing essentially is we could alter the sequence of a genome starting from one nucleotide base pair to as much as possible. Not as much as possible, but to a certain limit. Now the genome editing tools have gives the ability to alter the genome at our own choice, which means you can alter the genome at your precise location. For example, if you want to remove a nucleotide in chromosome 1 in a particular region, subband 1, band 1, subband 1, in that particular region, you can do that. So if you must have studied many monogenic disorders or single gene disorders, right? Sickle cell anemia, hemoglobinopathies, lot of many single gene disorders, or single mutation gene disorders which are caused because of a single nucleotide change. So if you could alter this single nucleotide change, then definitely you would create a better life for that diseased individuals, right? So what we are trying to do in genome editing is we are trying to, using these techniques or tools of genome engineering or genome editing tools, we are actually trying to change or remove, add, or replace the desired location of an organism. So which means you are actually trying to edit the particular gene. You are trying to remove an unwanted nucleotide or a part of chromosome or a part of gene, and then supplement it with the better one, the one which you actually want. So this is what is the whole idea behind genome editing, right? Next slide, please. Now there are two types of genome editing. Well, how do you do genome editing? There are two types. So how do you do and how do you name it? Or there are two types of genome editing in general. One is called an in vivo genome editing. other is called an ex vivo genome editing. In vivo genome editing ante enti, ఒక జీన్ ని మీరు తయారు చేసిన జీన్ ని పేషెంట్ లోపల మీరు డైరెక్ట్ గా ఇంజెక్ట్ చేయగలిగితే దాన్ని ఇన్ వైవో జీనోమ్ ఎడిటింగ్ అంటారు. ఇఫ్ యూ కెన్ డెలివర్ the therapeutic genes into the cells of a particular tissue in the patient body, right? In, of course, using a viral or a non-viral vector system, and you know, this is what is known as in vivo genome editing. Whereas ex vivo genome editing is what? Ex vivo genome editing is a phenomena where you take few cells from the patient, grow them in culture, in vitro situation, you introduce the therapeutic genes into the cell culture, correct the gene, and then transplant it back to the patient. అంటే పేషెంట్స్ లోంచి కొన్ని కణాలు తీసుకొని ఆ కణాలని మనము బయట టిష్యూ కల్చర్ లో గ్రో చేసి దాన్ని కరెక్ట్ చేసి మళ్ళీ పేషెంట్స్ లో గనక మనం ఇంజెక్ట్ చేయగలిగితే దాన్ని మనము ఎక్స్ వైవో జీనోమ్ ఎడిటింగ్ అనే పద్ధతి అంటారు. సో ఇన్ వైవో అండ్ ఎక్స్ వైవో జీనోమ్ ఎడిటింగ్ ఇస్ వాట్ వీఆర్ స్పీకింగ్ హియర్ కరెంట్లీ. You can see the diagram on your right hand side where there is an image which shows what an in vivo or an ex vivo genome editing is all about. Next. And before we go into genome editing, we should learn what are the different mechanisms that are operating in a cell, at least at a point where there is a double strand DNA break, right? So what happens at a double strand break? Double strand break means what? The DNA is breaking. The DNA is breaking at 2 points on the 2 strands, right? Now you can see on your left hand side where is the diagram is represented as A, where it shows the different phases of cell cycles. You must have seen G1 phase, S phase, G2 phase, and M phase. I am sure if you are a graduate student by now, you must have studied this cell cycle. I think even in your +2, which is in your class 12th, you must have studied. But if you look at this diagram carefully, it is slightly different than what you have seen. That is, you can see that there are 3 major kinds of DNA repairs that are occurring at the double strand breaks within a cell. The first kind of DNA repair mechanism is called as NHEJ, non-homologous end joining repair pathway. So non-homologous end joining repair pathway lo there is a repair, but this repair will result in lot of undesired sequences, right? Non-homologous end joining repair. Non-homologous ante daniki homologous chromosome లేదు కాబట్టి అక్కడ DNA రిపేర్ అవుతున్నప్పుడు దానికి ఇష్టమనుసారంగా అక్కడ DNA ప్యాచ్ ని నింపబడుతుంది, రైట్? సో దీనివల్ల ఎన్నో రకమైన మ్యూటేషన్స్ ఆ ప్రదేశంలో వచ్చి మనకు కావలసిన విశేషాలు కావు, మనకు రావాల్సిన ఒరిజినల్ DNA రిపేర్ సరిగా జరగదు. Yes, second mechanism is what is known as HDR, which is homologous DNA, homology directed repair. Homology directed repair అంటే జరిగిన DNA ప్రదేశానికి మనము ఒక చిన్న ఫ్రాగ్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ DNA ని వాడుతూ ఆ పాత DNA ని టెంప్లేట్ ని రిపేర్ చేయడానికి వాడతాము. సో దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ ఈస్ నోన్ యాజ్ homology directed repair. Now the third and the most important and the recent talked about repair is called as MMEJ, micro homology mediated end joining repair, or MMEJ. homology అక్కడ మైనర్ గా స్పెల్లింగ్ మిస్టేక్ ఉంది, మైక్రో హోమోలజీ HOMOLOGY ఉంటుంది అక్కడ. ఓకే, సో ఐ థింక్ kindly accept me, kindly correct it in your slides whichever is required. Okay, so micro homology ante enti? We are using short fragments, 5 to 20 base pair of fragments ని వాడుతూ DNA ని మనం రిపేర్ చేస్తాం అన్నట్టు. So these are the 3 different types of DNA repair mechanisms that actually are going, that are happening in a cell where there is a double strand DNA break. Now we know that NHEJ is prominent throughout the cell cycle, whereas MMEJ and HDR are not throughout the cell cycle. And remember, NHEJ is a mechanism which is at a rapid phase, which is happening at a very rapid phase, right? But the problem with NHEJ is you are having undesired nucleotide positions. Understand? Please go to the next slide. Next slide, please. Yeah. So let us study about NHEJ and HDR. In HDR and MMEJ, of course, there are differences, but here I would like to highlight what is an NHEJ repair, or what are the proteins involved in NHEJ repair, and what are the proteins involved in homologous recombination repair. If you see carefully in the non-homologous end joining repair, you can see Cu70, Cu80. Cu70, Cu80 are proteins which form dimers, or kind of bonds, and then they actually play an important role. The other genes which have been shown to be associated with other gene products which have been shown to be associated with non-homologous end joining include XRCC4, ligase 4, and XLF. So these all proteins actually play an important role in non-homologous end joining. On your right hand side, you will see homologous recombination, where proteins like BRCA1, BRCA2, RAD51, XRCC3, RAD51, and RAD54, all these proteins are responsible. Now, why do we want? See, if you want to delete a genome, if you want to delete a gene, or if you want to make a gene non-functional, you can simply use a silent easily. But if you have to remove the wrong or misplaced DNA fragment and then supplement it, there comes the challenge. Oka gene ni kevalam silent chedamu DNA sequences in bacteria, which he called as CRISPR. So people pronounce CRISPR as CRISPR. Okay, these were later developed into a widespread genome editing tools, which are known as CRISPR-Cas9 system. So next slide, please. You will be surprised to know these two ladies, Jennifer A. Doudna and Emmanuelle Charpentier, were the two scientists who were awarded Nobel Prize in 2020. So Jennifer Doudna, was she's a molecular bio, she's partly chemical biology, and in US there is a little different system of study. So she actually, along with Emmanuelle Charpentier, had actually got Nobel Prize in chemistry. Nobel Prize in Chemistry for the year 2020 for the discovery of this little CRISPR-Cas9. I think probably they are the only two scientists who have been awarded Nobel Prize so early after their discovery. If you look at other scientists who have got Nobel Prizes, you will be observing that they must have been awarded Nobel Prizes probably much later than their discovery. But this life-changing, or the radical change in biology with respect to the discovery of CRISPR-Cas9 system has probably earned them a Nobel Prize so early, right? Next slide, please. So you can see one scientist is from USA and the other scientist is from Germany, right? Next slide, if you
Sir, France,
go there.
France.
Yeah, but she was affiliated to Germany when she got the award, Max Planck Institute. Yeah, next slide. See, here you can study the structure of CRISPR-Cas9 system. You can see a PAM sequence there, PAM sequence. You can see a protospacer sequence there. You can see a single guide RNA. So these guide RNAs, which are there, would bind with the DNA with the if there is a PAM sequence around, and then it brings about a DNA breaks. So this picture shows a schematic representation of a Cas9, a single guide RNA, a target DNA during the recognition site of genome editing, which is prior to the cleavage, right? Next. Now you can see here is a diagram or a schematic diagram which shows how CRISPR-Cas9 mediates genome editing. On your right hand side, you can see that first you add the CRISPR-Cas9 system, that you can see a 20 nucleotide guide RNA in the top, which is in orange color, which goes and binds to the region of your choice. And then you have a PAM sequence, and this PAM sequence help in binding. Subsequently, there is a double strand break. Once the double strand break is there, if you actually want to remove or inactivate the gene, you don't do anything. You have non-homologous and non-homologous end joining system activated on your right hand side. You will get all insertions, deletions, substitutions in that region. So the gene structure is lost. So thereby the protein structure is also lost. Whereas on the right hand side, if you see, there is the DNA break. Once the DNA break is there, you are supplying another plasmid. So when you are supplying a plasmid, then there will be a repair based upon the plasmid that you have supplied, and you will actually get the gene sequence of your choice in the cell. Now remember, it is written G2 by S phase. Well, the repair which is happening in each cell is in different phase. So this is a generalized statement that we have given, but usually in neural cells it may be different, in kidney cells it may be different, in liver cells it may be different. So the phases of the cell cycle may be different. Okay, next. So what are the applications of CRISPR-Cas9 system? The very slides tells you that you can do many things when compared to the meganucleases or the ZFNs or the TALENs. You can do base editing, you can do tagging a gene of interest, you could do a genome-wide screening, you could activate a gene, you could inactivate a gene, you could purify a genomic loci, you could target a RNA, you could do single-lick translation. You may not require a double strand break. You may wish to do a single strand break also. So all this is possible by CRISPR-Cas9 system. Understand? So these are, this slide is an illustration of various applications of CRISPR-Cas9 technology. Next, please. Now, here is a comparison of ZFN, TALENs and CRISPR-Cas9 technologies. You can see the different nucleus platforms or the different functions that can be done here on your left-hand side, whereas you can compare the three ZFNs, TALENs and CRISPR-Cas9, right? So these are the different, you can see CRISPR-Cas9 has a greater advantage when compared to the other nucleus systems, right? Next slide, please. So if you look at the evolution, or if you look at, or this is a summarizing table of all the 4 nucleases in one slide, where you can see homing endonucleases or meganucleases, how they bind. You can see ZFNs, how they are. You can see TALENs, and you can see CRISPR-Cas9 systems. Next. Next slide, please. These are the different crop plants which have been improved by using genome editing tools. You can see at which stage of cell cycle they have, there where the repair was happening. HR, NHEJ, HR, NHEJ, you can see them all. You can also see the gene tool that has been used, gene editing tool. In few cases, it is ZFN. In few cases, it is TALENs. In few cases, it is CRISPR-Cas9 systems. So if you can look at this table itself will tell you that CRISPR-Cas9 technique has been used effectively, has found to be more effective as compared to other genome editing tools. Next, please. Now, every genome editing technique or tool has ethical issues. See, what are you trying to do? You are trying to change. I think you must have studied in your BSc, these GMO crops, genetically modified organisms, or GMO crops, or GM crops, or GM fruits, or whatever. See, the biggest challenge what somebody, the issue is the ethical issues. Now, what are these ethical issues? Ethical issues are the issues of this kind. There is morality of eugenics, which is that, the theory and practice of improving the genetic quality of human population. Somebody might question that who are we to actually change the genome of individuals? There may be a chance where individuals would try to create or a superior race. So that may be a problem. You can have failed trials will have adverse legal and ethical issues. You can have many unforeseen consequences. You never know. This is the beginning, tip of an iceberg which you are actually looking at. You don't know what is there down the line. Now, deciding on which is a good gene and which is a bad gene is also, relative. What is good for you may not be good for others. Now, there is a danger of genetic misuse. People may try to manipulate genes of probably every organism found on planet, and they may actually spoil the race of a gene, or they may spoil the species, right? You can have many regulatory challenges, biosafety issues, and many things which are associated with ecological balances also. Let's say you are changing the genes of species, and this may result in the death of an organism, or may this sometimes these organisms may become more prone to attack by some other organisms. Many things can happen and can alter the ecological balances. So there are many ethical issues associated with gene editing. Next slide, please. This is one of the most controversial slide that I wanted to edit this slide, but somehow I felt that as young students and researchers, we should all have a tab on our work. Now, this is a scientist I don't want to name, but it's well published. This is not my own, this thing, it's published in Nature paper, in Nature, this journal, where you could see this, they have tried to produce CRISPR babies. Now, a Chinese court has sentenced Dr. Hu Jungku, the bioscientist who announced that he has created world's first gene-edited babies. He has edited the genes of babies, and these babies, babies where he thought, or he intended to generate CRISPR babies which would be free from HIV infection. Now, I don't want to comment much about this, but every genetic change or every genome change or every change that you want to do has to pass through proper regulatory channels, right? Only when they pass through proper regulatory channels, there are checks and balances by governments. Now, if you bypass these channels and do something crazy, then you may end up behind the bars. Now, this Chinese scientist, has been put in jail for trying to generate CRISPR babies without having, proper approvals. And in fact, in India, we have this biosafety, and in our university, we have Tezpur University Biosafety Committee. We have biosafety committees established by the Department of Biotechnology and the Government of India. And we have separate units also where they monitor if you are doing any of these kinds of research. So one has to be very careful when you are playing with the genome, because mind you, you are not playing with the protein. You are not, altering the protein levels, but you are playing with the genetic composition of individual organisms, and which is having very impact, which has very much impact as compared to what you may be thinking, right? So this is this is a word of caution for not only for students, but also for researchers who are actually trying to do, genome editing research. Yeah, next slide, please. So I would like to take this opportunity and share about the project that we are trying to attempt, or we are doing at our place. So like Dr. Kiranmai and Dr. Tirupati has introduced. So this is one such project which I have got from as an award, actually early career research award from SCRB, DST Government of India. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to test in vitro, means we are only testing it in cell lines, not directly on patients. So first, let me make that myself very clear about it. Now, what are we trying to do? We are trying to actually remove or edit a particular defective exon 3. There is a CHST6 gene. This gene codes for carbohydrate sulfur transferase 6 protein. So this CHST6 gene codes for a carbohydrate sulfur transferase 6 protein. Now, this carbohydrate gene has 3 exons. Majority of the mutations in this gene are present in exon 3. So this gene has shown to be associated with a disease called as macular corneal dystrophy. So what is macular corneal dystrophy? Next slide. Next slide, please. So before I teach what is macular corneal dystrophy, this simple slide will tell you that there is a light coming from the environment, passing through the cornea, lens, and is focused onto the retina. So this ray of light actually moves from external environment to the internal environment as a stimulus. Now, the outer part of the eye is called as cornea. You can see it is clearly, it is a transparent part of the eye, and it is that part of the eye which does not have any blood vessels. So if there are blood vessels, there is no transparency. So here you have a cornea which is very transparent and which is avascular in nature. Next slide. Now, what is MCD or macular corneal dystrophy? Now, a corneal dystrophy usually is a bilateral condition which is inherited, which means you get it from your parents or you get it from your grandparents. Now, what happens in corneal dystrophy? There is cloudiness or opacities on the cornea of the eye, and this can lead to a lot of pain. You can see cloudiness, patch-like appearance on the cornea, right? So these are all white patches that you can see on the cornea, and this will result in a lot of pain, and it also results in blurred vision. Blurred vision means you can see, shaky vision or kind of not so clear vision. Now, corneal dystrophy, MCD, is one of the most important corneal dystrophies. Now, it is less common, but most severe. So in patients who have MCD, they have severe pain and the pain is unbearable. Now, this is an autosomal recessive mode of inheritance. So MCD has been shown to be in an autosomal recessive mode of inheritance. Next slide, please. So now what we are trying to do, or how doctors actually try to, treat these patients, is by giving band-aid contact lenses, be giving some basic antibiotics. They also give sodium chloride drops and artificial tears. Now, the ultimate solution, what a clinical or a surgeon would do, is a corneal transplant. So a corneal transplant is probably the only surgical treatment that can be done for an MCD patient in a terminal case. However, in spite of corneal transplant, the symptoms of MCD can recur because it is genetic in nature. You are putting up a new transcornea, but because the gene product is mutated, because CHST6 has got mutations, you may have subsequent corneal deposits, and these corneal deposits would result in, again, the pain and severe pain for the patients. Now, looking at the genetics of this, if you can look at the genetics of MCD, next slide, please. CHST6 gene mutations in MCD has been reported by Akama et al. In 2000, right? And in Sultana and co-workers in 2005 have reported 31 MCD patients from 26 family in southern India, and identified 26 different mutations in CHST gene, and 14 were novel. So this was from my institute, LV Prasada Institute, Hyderabad. Now, many other mutations have been reported in India and also abroad with respect to this. So what happens is this CHST6 gene has 3 exons which codes for proteins. Now, majority of the mutations are present in exon 3. So if you can remove this exon 3 and replace it with a wild type exon, in the long run, we can treat MCD. So this is the objective of the research project that we have submitted. That is, first you take a mammalian cell, grow them, remove the exon 3 using your own guide RNAs, and test if it is properly removing them and creating no off-target effects. Then definitely you can use them as tools for creating or treating MCD. Of course, this is a long shot, but this is what the idea that we wanted to propose. Next slide. Yes, so this is what I have told you. So we are currently attempting to understand the therapeutic potential of CRISPR-Cas9 technology in treatment of MCD. So we are trying to replace the defective sequence of exon 3 of CHST6 using CRISPR-Cas9 technology and replace it with a wild type or normal sequence. So this is what we intend to do in the long run. Next slide, please. So I think we are coming to an end. So this is our little research group. So I have Mrs. Mrigyanka Chakravarti, who is a PhD scholar and is about to complete her thesis, and who's wearing an apron for you. And on your right hand side, you have a yellow color shirt or a kind of chudidar wearing girl, and she is Aditi, and she is a recent joinee in our group. And we have Aparajita in the bottom slide. So she is also a research scholar in my group. So we have 3 research scholars currently, and Harshit is a boy who is working on genome editing currently, and he's a project JRF in this DBT DST SCRB project. And we have Anshuman Das. So this boy has been diagnosed to be negative for rat, but we are waiting for the corona RT-PCR report because he has generated some symptoms of this coronavirus COVID-19 symptoms. So I couldn't put his picture, but otherwise this is our small little group, 5 and including me. So we all work in Mrigyanka works on keratoconus. So that is also one disorder. She is about to communicate a couple of papers very soon. So this is in short what we have been trying to do. Next slide, please. Next slide. So for all of my student friends, so I would only say there is no substitute for hard work. Both of them. For people who may not actually remember either of them, one is Sachin Tendulkar and other is Vishwanath Anand. So both are masters in their own field, and they have contributed immensely to the game that they play and also to the nation. Next. So I expect that you should be showing no compromise on hard work, and please utilize optimally during COVID time so that, and get in touch with your teachers so that you learn a lot. Next, please. Well, I would acknowledge all the organizers of this webinar, national webinar, and I also thank my department for providing the necessary infrastructure. And I would like to humbly thank all the original content creators whose images, videos, or text or any other information that has been used in this presentation to make it effective. So there are many images which are not mine. There are a lot of texts which I may have not written. I may have picked it from internet sources to make this lecture effective. I thank all those original content creators. So I think the last and the next slide, please. So I think this man is a great inspiration for me, and this statement has always kept me working towards my goal. So arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached by Swami Vivekananda. And with this, I thank you for your kind attention. Well, there is a question that is there a vacancy in your project? Yes, there is a vacancy in your project, but you have to be a master's student, not a bachelor student. And you need to clear either of your national exams. You should be GATE or NET or CSIR or whatever to join the project. Yes, there is openly a project available. If somebody is interested, please do share. I will get back to you. So these are few pictures which we had clicked probably, isn't it, Tirupati Garu?
Yeah. So please, if you have any doubt, please, all the delegates related to today's excellent lecture, if you have any doubt, please ask. Our sir is ready to answer.
Yeah, before I do that, I would humbly make a humble suggestion, a submission, that it was too early on my part to complete this entire chapter in 1 hour time, covering a big, massive topic. So whatever was possible has been put in a very short frame of time, and so I am sure you must have liked it. So let us see. I'm ready to take up any questions if at all you have. So, well, there is one gentleman who is past MSc in biochemistry, but sir, apparently you have to clear any of your national exam, either a NET, GATE or something. And as and when there is a notification, I will share with you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Well, these are my stay in Germany where I attended a conference. So those are graduate students actually when I was working with Professor Steger. So Knut Steger, and a couple of them are postdocs, couple of them are technicians, couple of them are graduate students, and one from China, one from, remaining all from Germany. Yeah, that lady. Yeah, that China. Lady is, she is a doctor and a scientist. She is also an associate professor in, I'm sure she's joining in couple of months, she'll be joining there. And this is my host, Professor Knut Steger. So he's a young gentleman who is a renowned genome editing expert. So this is a fort actually. We were invited there for some reason, I guess. Yeah, for all the international students, there was a little meeting. So I, along with my host, we had been there. And this is my family, my mother, my family, and my students at Kaziranga National Park. So I invite you all, I take this opportunity to invite you all to visit with your students someday to Kaziranga. It's a very beautiful international park where there is only a single horned rhino. You will never find a single horned rhino anywhere else. We recently, I think only in the past couple of months, we had been there. So after this lockdown is over. So once things settle down, I think you all can visit. So it's an open invitation for all of you. Yeah, I think if there are no questions, then Tirupati Garu, if there is anything else that I can do.
Yes, sir, Chandrakumar sir, Chandrakumar sir.
Please.
A small doubt.
Yeah.
In what way genomic editing is different from gene therapy? You have taught us knocking particular gene replacement or removal, but you didn't touch about replacement of the healthy gene for restoration of the function.
Well, first objective is to actually you have to edit a gene. If you have to edit a gene, the very word edit means you have to remove a part of the gene and then you have to supplement it with a good gene, right? Or good part of the gene. So the first part involves removal of or editing that part of the gene which is non-desired. So for that region, how do you decide and go at that region where the DNA is not required or that part of the DNA is not required? For that, you have to design guide RNAs along with the CRISPR-Cas9 system. You transfect into the cells of your choice. If you are doing an ex vivo system. So you remove that part of the DNA and supplementally you push in the homologous DNA or the wild type gene of your choice. So you expect once that part of the defective DNA is removed, you are allowing your DNA which you have supplied as a template DNA for the double strand break repair to happen.
Okay, sir.
So if you are removing,
there is a supplementary question to the first one, that is,
Yes.
Until to wait the onset of disease,
Yes.
if you have your genome profile,
Yes.
can we go for genomic editing earlier than onset of disease?
Yes. Well, this is a challenging question. The question is that you are having a defective gene. Let's say this happens mostly in heterozygous situations. Here is a disorder which is heterozygous in nature, or the allele is heterozygous in nature. The symptoms of the disease will occur only at a later stage in life, right? So you are asking me, should we remove the gene at the birth itself because we know the genome, right? Now that we can easily know the genome, should we remove the genome and correct it now, or should we correct it at a point where the patient actually experiences the problem?
Exactly.
Right. So for this, the answer is pretty simple. If you have a disease which is probably occurring at 50 years of your age, and if you can target your genome editing technologies to that particular tissue, well, probably I would say that you could do at that point in time. I am giving you a wild example. Let us say diabetes. Of course, diabetes is not a single gene disorder, but for the sake of understanding I am giving, let us say we have diabetes, we have a defective allele, which is heterozygous in nature, resulting in diabetes. But we all know that diabetes triggers in after 40 years of life, type 2 diabetes to be more specific, right? So if we can replace that gene at the time where the patient experiences diabetes, because you can targetedly, specifically send the DNA of your choice into the target tissue. In this case, it is islets of Langerhans, right?
Yes, exactly.
So that would be the better idea. Otherwise, why do you want to actually replace the gene at the embryo stage itself and allow him to, I mean, you never know.
No, I'm talking about in case of, like autoimmune disorders and all, instead of giving excessive drug administration, it will be better for removal of the defective gene at the earlier stage if you know our genome mapping.
Yes. So the question is again, firstly, your genome editing tools should be highly specific, but of late, let me humbly accept that CRISPR-Cas9 technology also has been proven to have off-target assays. CRISPR-Cas9 has been modified, and I did not go into the topic much, but CRISPR-Cas9 is a very huge protein. And this protein is binding to non-specific regions and inducing non-specific cuts. So people have generated quadruple mutants of Cas9 protein to make it much more specific. And it is called as SP-Cas9. So Cas9 itself has undergone a lot of modifications, right? So, well, there is always a challenge that at what point we should do and when we should actually do. Should we do it earlier when the disease actually, or should we do it at the time when the disease is actually manifested? Again, it is a matter of debate, and the clinicians probably can help us in identifying that answer. But well, that's a very valid question.
Dr. Prakash.
No, but that's a very valid question and a genuine question. Thank you for bringing it to light.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Chandrakumar sir, thank you very much. So
thank you.
Nice to meeting here. We remembrance our
I have seen the photographs.
Sir, thank you very much.
I've seen the photographs.
Thank you very much.
Right time to recollect the golden moments which has spent in Usman University.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Sir, all the delegates, please, you have any doubt? Sir is ready to answer. Okay, now it's the final session, and I would like to thank sir. Madam, please. Anybody? Okay, I would like to thank you very much.
There was one lady who was trying to ask something, or I think
Madam, please ask any doubt. If you have any doubt, please ask. Sir is ready to answer.
Hello.
Thank you, Balraj Garu, for your comments.
Okay, Madam Rajini Madam Garu, please.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Namaste, madam.
Hello.
Chappali.
Sir, today lecture is very nice, very enlightening. Uh, hello.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you very much for your comments.
Yeah, you are audible, madam. Please continue.
I am from Reddy Women's College in Narayanpura, Department Botany HOD, sir.
Yes,
The
madam.
genomics sector, these are things are, your explanation is very simple and very nice, sir.
I'm really thankful for your kind words, and having an appreciation from a colleague is more important than no less than anything. I'm really happy
Okay.
to for these positive comments, please.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Prasanna.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Prasanna, sir. Prasanna Harikrishna, sir. Please. Please unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself.
Is it audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Prasanna
audible.
garu, you are loud and clear. Thank you.
The Department of Botany, or I can say Life Sciences of Government Degree College for Women, Jagitya. And more importantly, I would like to appreciate and congratulate the resource person of today's webinar. So it was a beautiful and a tremendous webinar I have ever heard, because genome editing technology is a newer concept in the life sciences, or you can say molecular biology. So recently you have touched each and every aspect of that particular concept, because you have touched Jennifer Doudna and Charpentier. So those who got Nobel Prize recently in the year 2020. So that was a beautiful content, and you have also enlightened the technology that is CRISPR-Cas9. So CRISPR-Cas9 technology is most advanced technology in the genome editing. So that was tremendous, and I was very happy when I hear your voice and your content and your seminar. So thank you to the resource person once again from my bottom of my heart, and particularly the Department of Botany, SRR Government Arts and Science College, Karimnagar. So thank you to Tirupati, and congratulate to Tirupati sir and the team of Government Degree College for Women, Jagitya, including our honorable beloved Principal Dr. Srinivas Reddy garu,
Thank you.
for
Thank you,
organizing such kind of webinars.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I would also probably would like to thank Prasanna garu. Listening some kind words from a senior colleague like you is always heartwarming, and we would love to interact with you very soon sometime.
Sure,
and,
sure.
Yeah, and
And
thank you.
sir, let me intervene.
Yeah, please. You are free to.
And thanking you for touching the MSc entrance examinations for the upcoming students community of the Telangana states, because getting a seat or cracking Central University examination is not an easy task. It is a difficulty task. If possible, you can give us a time to enlighten the student community of Telangana region on MSc entrance examinations of Central Universities.
Well, with the prior permission of Padala Tirupati garu, if you allow me, I can only speak for a couple of minutes, because he always shows me the time, and which is ticking like a bomb for me. I have got 1 minute and 30 seconds to speak on that.
Yeah, if you don't mind, please, we retry. Otherwise, we unable to speak heartfully, because only 1 minute is there. So this is a very lesser time to react to all the possible answers. Okay, better.
Well,
we would like to organize one more lecture from you, sir, because your lecture was awesome. I love your lecture and I like your lecture. It was wonderful.
Well, thanks a ton, Andy. Thanks for your humble words. I am sharing my email ID with you. I'm sure you all have it, but I'm sharing my email ID, and also probably I'll share my phone number in person, because I don't want unnecessary calls. From most of the times it's very difficult, right? I'm sharing my email ID.
I'll get your number from Padala Tirupati, sir. I'll get your number.
Please, welcome. As a colleague, you are always free to call.
Sure, sir. We will interact with each other on recent trends.
Please.
Yes, okay, sir. We will, please you resign, sir. Please you resign with the only 10 minutes. Please.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Please, all of you, Chandraya, sir, please you resign within 10 minutes. Within 1 minute.
Usha madam, I think there is some problem with your mic. Please unmute it.
Usha madam, please unmute yourself.
I can see another colleague of yours also trying to speak. Is it Dr. Parvati Garu?
Dr. Parvati madam garu, please unmute yourself. If you have any doubt,
I
please
don't
ask.
know if no, it's not a doubt, please. I mean, for my colleagues, it's always a clarification, not a doubt actually, to be honest with you. I have a lot of things to learn from you. So let me share whatever I know. Padala Tirupati Garu has been so kind enough that he has put me on a pedestal.
Okay, Rajni madam garu. Okay. So I hope they don't have any doubt, sir.
Well,
let me conclude, sir.
Please.
Okay. Now,
There is an issue, I guess. Some of them are writing that they cannot open the feedback form.
okay. I will solve the problem very. 1 second, sir. Okay, now feedback form is open, sir. Please, those who are not filled the feedback form, it is now available. All the participants, please you fill. Those who are not filled the feedback form, now you can fill, sir. Fill all the participants. And Chandra sir, if you have any, sir, can you? Chandra Kumar sir. Okay. Now, Chandra Kumar sir. Sir, unmute yourself. First of all, you should unmute yourself, sir. Chandra
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. Yeah, sir. Nice, very nice
here,
presentation.
Okay, here. So one Surya and one Chandra is here, you know. So no doubt at all. So it is a balanced webinar. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for.
Sir, he is the master. I am still a student.
Well, it is so kind of him, and it is his humbleness that he is saying so. But he is senior to
Thank you. That's so kind of you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. Now I would like to thank my college principal, Sri Mallaram Srinivas Reddy sir garu, such a motivate and conduct this national webinar for enlightening students, and also along with the faculty members related to life science stream, this pandemic situation. So we are very lucky, and we are also very, very proud to be an Indian, because our India is distributing the pandemic vaccine, that is the COVID-19 vaccine distributed entire the world. So that's why we are very proud to be an Indian. And also this pandemic situation, we are using this much of technology to enlighten to learn new information related to regarding of new innovation and new research regarding of life sciences. And also Vice Principal Madam, my college, Dr. Masroor Sultana Madam Garu, and she was from the beginning, she is very, very motivated to me for conducting such a wonderful programs related to, not only related to biological science, but also in social awareness programs and reforms. Some of the social reformers also, we are conducted national quizzes related to social reformers like Ambedkar, Pule, Jagjeevan Ram. So these are the programs motivated by Vice Principal Madam Dr. Masroor Sultan Madam Garu, and IKSC Coordinator Harjot Kaur Madam Garu, and academic coordinator Sri Shankaraya Sir Garu, and staff club secretary Sri Namadipelli Satyaprakash Sir Garu, and commerce head department of commerce Y Satyanarayan Sir Garu, and Department of Zoology, Dr. A. Jyoti Lakshmi Madam Garu, today's webinar co-convener Madam Garu, and Dr. K. Kiranmay Madam Garu, today's webinar co-convener. Both of they belongs to our life science team. They are very much encouraged and motivate and also inspiring their works among the peer team of our college. And also M.A. Rahim Sir Garu, in charge Urdu department, and T. Swaruparani Madam Garu, Women Empowerment Cell Coordinator, the Sai Madhukar Sir Garu, G. Manasa Madam Garu, and both of these Sai Madhukar Sir and Manasa Madam Garu belongs to Chemistry Department, and Swaruparani Madam Garu belongs to Mathematics Department. Their encouragement and continuous support, we are conducting this much of national webinars. And Rajini Madam Garu, Physics Department, Srimati Adep Rajini Madam Garu, and Raparthi Srinivas Sir Garu, Telugu Department. These are the organizing committee and also supporting for their encouragement, continuation for conducting these webinars. And the advisory committee, Sunita Madam Garu, English Department, and Josna Madam Garu, English Department, Jamuna Madam Garu, Economics Department, Madhavi Madam Garu, History Department, Arshia Sultana Madam, Yasmin Sultana Madam, Urdu language, Urdu media, History and Political Science Department, and their encouragement and motive support, we are successfully conducted this national webinars. And also regarding of this conducting of this webinar, technical support, this Zoom and preparing Google form and certification and feedback form and flyer. This is made by my beloved brother S. Satyam Sir Garu, Computer Science, and Sir is here in Computer Lab. See, sir, please give once you. Okay, sir is Satyam sir, our technical team, and also and TSKC mentor Gollapalli Tirupati Garu, Tirupati sir, and he is also my beloved brother for making of this webinar successful. And also the thankful to our non-teaching staff of our college. We are wholeheartedly thankful to entire non-teaching staff of our college, Sri Bharatalakshmi Madam Garu, Tara Madam Garu, and Komraya, Kanakaya, and Sureshji, Srinivas. These are the non-teaching staff of our college, and also Narsaya and Rajaya. They are office subordinates. Our entire team is going to conduct different webinars, day-to-day activities, and my college is going to NAC, and I am requesting you, sir, please you suggest me and also support me for making our botany department and life sciences department for if any chance for MOU or any project or linkage from your side, please you suggest me how to it is possible, and this is very important for NAC also. And my college is always thankful to entire the faculty members and also today's delegates of different states of our country. We are wholeheartedly thankful to each and every persons. And lastly, I would like to thank my supporters and today's chief guest, Dr. Kadaru Surendra Reddy Sir Garu, Secretary TGCGTA Telangana, and Dr. Alwala Sanjivaya Sir Garu, President TGCGTA Telangana. We are wholeheartedly thankful to you, sir, making of this webinar, and they are give valuable message related to our webinar. And also I'm very thankful to you. And last but not least, today's chief guest and knowledge of ocean and research innovative techniques person, and very simple and hardworking nature person in front of us. that is Dr. Surya Prakash G. Ponnam Garu, Assistant Professor, Department of Molecular Biology and Biotechnology, Tezpur Central University, Assam. We are wholeheartedly thankful to you, sir. And forever, sir. Forever, we are wholeheartedly
Pleasure
thankful
was
to
all
you.
mine. Pleasure was all mine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I will going to sum up. Thank you, each and everyone. Thank you, sir.